After that heartbreak in 2002, it took another 12 years before another PBA-starred team represented the country in the Asian Games. Although the 2014 and 2018 campaigns did not yield medals, these stints did pave the way for bigger and more ambitious plans for Philippine basketball moving forward. After the 2002 Asian Games, things got rocky for Philippine basketball. Now, thanks to a power struggle that led to the disbandment of the Basketball Association of the Philippines, the country was suspended from competing internationally for almost 2 years. This prevented the Philippines from playing in the 2006 ASEAN. The ban was eventually lifted after the Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas was established. But it would take a while until another PBA-powered team was deployed to the Asian Games.
The first local score.
In the 2010 edition of the Games, the country was represented by the Smart Gilas team, a program mainly composed of amateur stars to help the Philippines qualify for the 2012 Olympics. Only 3 PBA stars belonged to the lineup: Asita Olava, Kelly Williams, and Sol Mercado. Another loss to South Korea in the quarterfinals sidetracked the Filipinos, who settled for a 6th-place finish in the field of 16.
PUSO! Laban Pilipinas! PUSO!
The arrival of Gilas 2.0 officially signified the return of an all-PBA national team for international tournaments. There was a lot of optimism surrounding the core under coach Chot Reyes, especially after a tremendous stretch from 2012 to 2014.
Jeff to Douthit, kicks it over, three-pointer on the way, yes!
In the 2012 William Jones Cup,
LA has 12 seconds to work with. Tenorio with an 18-footer, yes!
Gilas became the first Philippine squad since the Centennial team in 1998 to capture the gold.
6 seconds to work with. Jimmy launches it.
Gilas made history in 2013 when they finally got over the Korean curse to clinch silver in the FIBA Asia Championships.
Gilas Pilipinas books a ticket to Spain next year.
That led to a historic campaign in the 2014 FIBA World Cup, where Gilas tallied its first win in over 40 years on the global stage. When the same Gilas team showed up in the 2014 Asian Games, expectations shot through the roof.
Back to Andre, 3 on the way.
Unfortunately, Gilas ran into a set of problems that would eventually doom its campaign in Incheon, South Korea.
Yung inside presence ni Marcus Douthit.
Oh, yes!
Count it!
After the Asian Games Organizing Committee ruled Andre Blatch ineligible, Gilas called up longtime import Marcus Douthit. Douthit joined 10 men who played in the World Cup: Jimmy Alapag, L.A. Tenorio, Paul Lee, Jeff Chan, Gary David, Gabe Norwood, Ranidel de Ocampo, June Marfajardo, Japeth Aguilar, and Mark Pingris. Jared Dillinger replaced Jason Castro in the lineup.
Norwood, whoops, lost the ball.
Gilas split its first 2 games in Group E, but disaster would not completely strike until the next round.
Douthit pitches it out. Jimmy, pumunta kay Sean. Here comes the long one. No!
A shocking loss to a lowly Qatar team marked the beginning of the country's campaign in Group H. The next day, Gilas suffered a regretful 2-point loss to host South Korea, putting their hopes of making the medal round in grave danger. Gilas still had a chance to make it to the semifinals provided, but if only they beat Kazakhstan by 11 points. And that's when things got weird.
67-65, 14.6 seconds remaining. The only way we can advance. So we get into overtime. And there you go. Marcus Douthit will tie the game. Oh, bakit no count?
I don't think Marcus just went out there and did it by himself. Remember, we needed to either
win by a certain amount. I don't remember the exact situation, but it was very, very unique spot where I don't think any of us have really been in before. I think we were trying to draw out the game or force overtime or something like that. It was just a numbers thing.
After that 2-point win that felt like a massive loss, Gilas lost one more game against China before settling for 7th place after blowing out Mongolia. The 2014 Asian Games run was the worst finish by any Philippine team in the Asian Games.
There were a lot of good, high expectations with that team coming from Spain, where they fought hard against Croatia, Argentina, Puerto Rico. Pinahirapan nila yung mga teams na yon, mga acknowledged na world powers. The thinking was, pagdating sa Asian Games, we're gonna steamroll over everybody because we nearly beat world powers in Spain. So yun, may expectation na ganon. Pero yun nga lang, wala si Andre Blatch.
Castro pulls it for a three. How about that?
The SBP later shuffled through different Gilas teams in various tournaments. As a result, only Paul Lee and Gabe Norwood from the 2014 team made the roster for the next Asian Games 4 years later. This national team that battled in Jakarta, Indonesia was dubbed as the Gilas Painters. A total of 8 players were handled by Coach Ian Giao at various points in their careers. Lee, Norwood, Maverick Hanmisi, Chris Chu, Raymond Almazan, and Bo Belga all played for Giao with the Elasto Painters. James Yap was now with Rain or Shine at this point, but Giao wasn't around when he was traded from the Pierfoods franchise. Meanwhile, Asi Taulava and Poy Eram were both under Giao over at NLEX. Christian Starhardinger and Stanley Pringle were considered naturalized players in FIBA tournaments, but less stringent rules in the Asian Games allowed for their inclusion in the roster.
Jordan on the move, behind his back, puts it up.
But the biggest difference that separated this Gilas squad from all past national teams was one NBA standout.
Big man, 2-on-1. Here we go, back to JC finisher!
Jordan Clarkson. Clarkson was able to secure clearance from the Cleveland Cavaliers to be able to represent the Philippines for the first time ever.
I know he was just super excited to have the opportunity to come out and represent the Philippines, represent his family. So we were just trying to prepare. Jordan joined us. I think he missed the first game, but we were just trying to prepare the best that we could and really trying to instill our kind of system and things once he did join us to try to put the best performance out there.
Penetrates down the middle, kicks it over. Clarkson with a floater. That's good!
Clarkson immediately lived up to his reputation and delivered 28 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals against China. The Chinese, however, managed to escape with an 82-80 win.
Jordan Clarkson stops and pops from 15
Finally.
against the basket.
Even Clarkson's presence couldn't save Gilas from another loss against South Korea, who scored a 91-82 win despite a big 25-point game from the Phil-Am NBA star. But Clarkson and Gilas didn't go home without bringing back a couple of things to be happy about. Christian Starhardinger and Jordan Clarkson towed the Philippines past Japan to a 113-80 win in the first classification game. In the battle for 5th, Clarkson dominated with 29 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds to help Gilas secure a 54-point victory over Syria.
No matter the team or the roster, any given day, a team can get hot or a team can have an off day. I think it was just a little bit of familiarity, preparation. Like I said, I think that's the biggest thing I've learned over my experiences playing with the national team. But, Jordan came out and put on a show. And Stanley was playing great. Christian was playing great. Just a lot of guys stepping up and performing at a high level. And, it's international play. China's going to always be there in contention. Korea's always strong.
And I remember Coach Yang telling me after the last game, sabi niya sayang if only Jordan Clarkson had arrived a week earlier. He could have gotten his legs under him. He could have gotten more acclimated with the team. I think we would have had a good chance to win the gold medal. Hinayang na hinayang si Coach Yang eh. Sana pagdating niya sa Jakarta, wala na sana siyang jet lag eh. Pero dumating siya He was still getting used to the new game. He had to be taken out because he had got cramps in the fourth quarter. But then after that, okay na siya eh. Sayang lang eh.
With the level of talent and star power in the PBA today, it's only a matter of time before the country gets a crack at its first Asian Games gold since 1962. And no matter which direction the national team chooses to go, PBA players will always be at the forefront of these campaigns. After all, these are the stars who still shine the brightest in the universe that is Philippine basketball. I am Lourdes Rivera, and this has been your Basketball Almanac.